works. Hit the space bar.
And we're rolling.
What do you hate about it?
I was smiling very large.
What is it you hate about the setup, John?
Everything.
So it just doesn't appease you in your high standards?
No, I'm just really stressed out.
No way. We couldn't tell. Do you want some bourbon for your L8?
No.
You need a Snickers?
Nope.
All right. Well, listen. We have a very, very special guest on the podcast. I'd like to introduce a man that's been called the songbird of our generation.
That's probably copyrighted.
Yeah. Mr. Chris Shouse.
It's probably false as well.
What? You have a beautiful singing voice.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I specifically have said it
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah. So how's everybody's week? John, you most importantly.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
What's up?
And it's been terrible.
Short, succinct, to the point. I like it.
I'm just tired.
Why are you tired?
I'm just tired.
Okay. Cameron, how's your week?
Man, I had a pretty sick week. I
Yeah.
was on call and
Nobody
didn't get
cares.
called in. And
Oh, that's good. When you're on call and don't get called in, that is a pretty good day.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I had to stay in a pretty awful motel. But
Microphone.
am I not in it?
No.
You're looking at us.
Yeah.
Can I
Look at it. Look at it.
better? Is that better or worse?
It's not better. You're still looking at us.
Worse. Okay, better.
Chris,
Better.
how's your week?
That's much better.
My week has been emotionally, mentally, and physically exhausting because I'm buying a house.
I thought it was because you're educating our children.
Well, that as well, but I am buying a house, and it's been a roller coaster of ups and downs, as they say in the business.
What business?
What's
The
been worse?
business of going up and down. The house inspection never goes as planned, and I have like a million different people pulling me in a million different ways,
Sure.
so it makes it hard.
But you've got the money to throw around.
I try to hide my money, but I just can't.
No, not when you buy a new Toyota Tacoma.
Tacomas, fill some backpacks.
There's nothing you can't afford, as far as I'm concerned.
That teacher's salary is really getting it for you.
That teacher's salary is rocking almost as much as a nurse's salary. Right, Cameron?
It's pretty solid. It's decent. I too am actually buying a
You're
house.
still not talking into the
You
microphone.
recently sold a house, didn't you?
I did. So I sold a house. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Well, anyway, I sold a house and it fell through, and then, got another offer and it worked out. So yeah, sold a house, buying a house, and yeah, I had a good week, but also I kind of forgot about the fact that I've also had a pretty gnarly week because had some stuff happen with selling a house and buying a house.
You're an optimist, though.
And yeah, I'm a relentless optimist.
Yeah.
And
So you did buy a house.
I did buy a house. I close on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah. So pretty
Where's this
stoked.
house located? In Clay City?
Stanton, how did you know that? Wait,
How
we're
about
not
a-
supposed to say where we live.
How about a physical address?
Nope, not me. Not
So
I.
that people can order pizzas to your house.
You're a jerk. I don't want to have.
No, but dude, the
flashbacks.
housing market is so insane.
Yeah.
Like the house that we looked at, my girlfriend called and it was online for 20 minutes, and we got the last appointment that day.
Are you
after
serious?
20 minutes, yeah. So we
Yeah.
put an offer in. It was accepted, but it's really crazy right now.
My fiance and I, we looked at probably, I would say, upwards of 10 houses. Like just looked on the apps and stuff, and we put in an appointment to try and see them. And out of all 10, I think we got to actually see 4, and all of the other ones ended up immediately selling before we could even get to our appointments. It was wild.
Yeah,
it's a great time to be a home seller, y'all.
It's very stressful because you got to make such a huge decision in such a short time. Like
Yeah.
you go look at a house and you have to decide then, is this the house for us?
The hard part is finding, once you sell your house, is finding somewhere to go.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's insane. You know what
I mean, you've got a tent, though.
I've got a tent on top of my Jeep.
And babies sleep great in tents on top of Jeeps. So
He sleeps great anywhere.
yeah.
So what's the name of this podcast again?
Well, for those of you that don't know, Dadding Around, which Chris technically isn't a dad, but whatever. He raises all of our children through the school system.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Why are
all,
you here?
The All Father, if you will.
Yeah.
The Alpha.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, who probably do know, Chris is a pretty significant musician in the local scene. He's played with the 23 string band. Who else do you play with, Chris?
Currently I play with Wolfpen Branch.
That's right.
Right, the new band.
Little plug there.
Yeah, little plug. The new band I'm in has lots of people from around. Katie Penn plays fiddle. She's a local hero.
She's phenomenal.
She's a great fiddle player.
Yeah.
Arthur Hancock from the Wooks, formerly of the Wooks, plays guitar. Which is cool about his story. In the Wooks, he played banjo. In the 23 String, and I play guitar. Now he plays guitar and I play mandolin.
Yeah.
Aaron Biebelhauser on banjo. He's from Louisville. Great songwriter, singer. And then Roddy Puckett, formerly of the Wooks as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, plays bass. So all the members of this band was at one time in the Wooks.
Yeah.
Because I filled in once for a while when Arthur was sick years ago.
But does that make you a ex-member?
No, not really. I wasn't ever formally a member.
You and Arthur do the vocals, correct?
Mainly, everybody in this band sings, which is really cool. It's a 5-piece band, so everybody sings.
Yeah.
Roddy sings a couple of songs a set, and so does Katie, and Aaron does too.
Would you call yourselves the Songbirds of our generation?
I would not.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's the kind of album that I'm anticipating from you guys.
Songbirds of our generation.
Yeah. Just incredible.
Yeah.
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 So there's that. Let's talk about that hat, though.
Okay.
I like it. I want to know where you got it so I can cop it immediately.
It is Town Mountain, a great bluegrass band from Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
It belonged to my girlfriend, and we traded out hats.
She would.
It's kind of like a flat bill, which I'm not used to. I usually do the curved bill, but it looks cool.
She wouldn't just give you the hat. You had to trade her.
I had to trade her. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's aggressive dealings.
It's aggressive dealing. So that's because in any relationship, it's give and take.
Yeah. Mostly
taking.
You're me. It's giving. Actually.
Oh, I take a lot.
It's not true. I'm a pretty big taker.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Hence your first divorce.
That was given to me. Actually, I didn't take that. Oh yeah, that one was pretty much out of my hands.
That's true. John, what's your take on anything right now? Because you haven't said a word.
I'm just absorbing it.
Don't stop absorbing it. You're the producer. You're not giving us any direction. You're letting us run wild right now, and it's going to shit.
No, it's not. It's going pretty good. Interesting conversation.
And
This is the first time that we've had someone that I've actually cared about what they're saying. So,
So let me ask you guys a question, because you three are dads, and all great dads, in my opinion. Because I know your kids. I don't know your kids, but I know you.
And he's a
kids.
joy.
He is very much a joy.
Yeah.
So when you have your own biological child, is it true that you become a father when that child is born? Like when you see that child for the first time, is there like a switch that turns? Because they say that a mother is a mother, when she finds out she's pregnant, but a father is a father when you see that baby.
You're assuming that we know all of our children are our biological children.
Oh, Corey's gonna love that.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh boy.
I don't know. I feel like that's pretty much true.
You do?
I feel like that I became a dad when my first one was born, but then with the next one, because there was like a 9-year difference, and I wanted another one for so long. As soon as I found out, I was already a dad. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and technically, I was already a dad.
Yeah, I feel like it's really kind of dependent upon the person too. I think it's really kind of dependent upon the person too. My kids are older, so I don't remember I had kids when I was a teenager, so my first instinct was terror. But like I always wanted to be a young dad anyway, so I feel like I was pretty engaged from the beginning.
You nailed it.
What the
Being a young dad.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I did twice.
Twice, yeah.
Twice over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what he said about like when my first was born, I felt like I was already pretty engaged, and then by the time my second came around, like I was already, in dad mode. But it's different because I was in a different place in my life than you were with both of your kids. So there was a lot of like anxiety.
Oh yeah.
With my thing, But man, I think
It's because I was trying for my kids, and
yeah. Well, I definitely
Yours were
was.
just accidents.
Yeah, mine were. In fact, the second one was actively avoided and still came. So she was
they're
like,
beautiful.
"I'm here."
they're beautiful children.
They are beautiful, great children.
They're
so.
both really great.
Yeah.
Their mother must be phenomenal.
She's pretty awesome. She would agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
She's
And-
gonna
and-
really appreciate you.
So I teach both of Cameron's kids and Josh's kids in music, and they're both very musical.
Yeah.
They're both.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, all three of your kids are musical.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're great parents. I don't know what to tell you.
It's true.
John, what's your take on that? You're still not technically.
Yeah,
You don't
so-
feel like a dad yet.
No, so I do feel like a dad. But they do give you that 30-day return policy when you first have it.
That's
and
true.
so like I waited that out, and 30 days hit,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I
And
didn't.
as soon as you turn 30 as a dad, you just make this transition into New Balances and grilling hamburgers. Don't look. They don't know.
So also, when
It's
your
a
kids were
lie.
born, did you put a mark on their body with a Sharpie in an inconspicuous spot so you could later determine them to make sure that it was actually your child?
Nobody does that.
I used a brand, actually. Very hot brand.
You should use your mic.
Huh? Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Won't you just reposition it?
I've tried. This mic is going to be the death of me.
Why don't you just...
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
He's still going to turn his head. What if you brought it this way? Look here.
Oh my God.
Just turn it this. We're going to turn it. Can he do... Is that going to work, John?
We're going to meet later.
Yep.
Yeah, see? Now you can look this way.
Better. Okay, cool. So,
My God.
yeah, anyway, I branded my child. Not to identify her, just because it seemed like the right thing to do. And, yeah, so.
Okay. That was a cool one.
I
Next.
didn't. That one was a miss. I didn't actually brand my child. That's abuse. Don't
Yeah.
do that, anyone.
Okay. Back to Chris. When's the new album coming out?
We have a new single coming out June the 4th. It's on a Friday, I think. It's a song called Nary, which means not.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a
In
true,
Appalachia?
Well, I thought it was like a true like Appalachian thing, but apparently like it's pretty common used in like Europe and things as well. Maybe that's where it came from. Like the word reckon.
Yeah.
You reckon?
That's
Because
because...
I think that people in Europe use that a lot.
Yeah.
We also use it. So for some reason, like a lot of the things that we use here are also used in Europe. I don't know why.
because the language or slang in the Appalachian Mountains are closest to the King's English. Did you know that? That's why that is.
Yeah, that's exactly what he just said.
He just said he didn't know why.
didn't know.
I was
why?
being sarcastic.
But you just told him that it was the why was because it is. That was circular reasoning.
Okay,
So the true reason though why it stayed like that is because people moved in to the Appalachian Mountains and they got landlocked. They moved in and they kind of kept that dialect from when they moved from Europe. And the rest of the world kind of changed around them, but they kept a lot of those words because they weren't talking to people that weren't in the mountains. And so over, 100 years, those words stayed when everyone else kind of lost them.
Well, it's the same thing with the music because on Mondays, this is very cool. On every Monday, Dave Howard, my former bandmate, and usually a special guest, and I play music at the Castle in Versailles, Kentucky, for people that are traveling in from out of town. So there's this company called Backroads, and you can buy a tour, like a bicycle tour, to go like to the Bourbon Trail and other things that's kind of in central Kentucky. And then on Monday nights, they eat a nice dinner at the castle, and we give a presentation on bluegrass music. And we talk about all those things about how that those people came to Appalachian Mountains, they brought their fiddles, music, and their, their band. The banjos actually came from Africa, and which is very cool through the slave trade. But they got all those songs and they played on front porches and they did things like that made kind of bluegrass music what it is today. Even Bill Monroe took a lot of influences from other genres, not just his own, like blues from Arnold Schultz, which was an African American blues player, and then of course his uncle Penn that played a lot of square dances and things like that. So it's a very cool history here in Kentucky about music as well.
I want to point out that you use the words "very cool" and "slave trade" in the same sentence. We're not promoting that.
Yeah.
No, by no means. But I mean, history is history, and that's why they came from West Africa, and that's what they came through. And even like New Orleans, there's still a strong banjo usage there with like Dixieland music, with flat picking the banjo, tenor banjos, and things like that. But it actually migrated to the Appalachian areas where that.
Yeah, I was just messing with you. You never asked me once to come play with you at the castle. Tears my soul apart.
Because you don't play another instrument other than guitar. Do you play fiddle?
Sure, as far as you know. Why don't we give it a shot and see what happens?
No.
Okay, sounds fair enough.
I feel like we've tried that experiment before, actually.
But we have played some pretty cool shows. I mean, the three of us played the governor's inauguration.
Yeah,
back
the three of us, not including Cameron.
Yeah.
I saw it, though.
Yeah,
It was
Second
the
hand,
coldest time
later.
in history, folks. It was so cold. And maybe after we got through playing, the three of us might have left our women in the cold and went to a warm spot. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually that's a true statement. We were staying warm because your fingers have to be nimble. You know?
Well, this was after our performance.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
But when I was getting ready that morning, I was thinking about, like, I probably should put on some warm socks. But I was like, I'm going to put on these real thin dress socks because it looks better with the suit. And that was a mistake.
Because you can see the socks all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beauty
Not
is
a good
pain,
idea.
man.
My feet were so cold.
Yeah. Everything was cold. Everything. It was pretty bad. But it was a fun time
It was very cool and very
to play at the governor's inauguration.
You
on
should've-
television.
Yeah, we were on the TV.
We were on KET.
Yeah, I saw that. Saw you. The
You
back
watched
of
it?
your head? Yeah, no, I watched when someone sent me the recording of it. I didn't watch it in real time because I have a life. But
He's rude.
but I was very proud of my friends, and
So, hey John, why is this griddle on the table?
Okay, that's a good segue as the door just
If
screeches
we want to talk
open.
about stupid things our kid did this week, John's kid just opened the door in the middle of his podcast trying to come in here.
Let's talk about stupid things your kid did this week.
yeah, I want to hear this.
My kid busted John's kid's lip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when did this happen?
Yesterday, he was playing with him on the mats and he drug him down. So,
I know where this
It happened
question is.
yesterday, huh?
yeah.
It was really cool to get an invite to come to my friend's thing that they were doing yesterday.
It wasn't a thing.
Seems like a thing. A child got his lip busted, so that
That
seems
was
a
the
lot
thing.
like a thing to
No,
me.
that was the thing. You don't even know.
Were you in the same house together?
I was watching John's kids.
Were you in the same house together?
Who, John and I?
All of you?
Define all of us.
John, you, and the kids. Okay, so it's a thing. That's what I like. Uh-huh.
Whatever.
Exactly.
It wasn't the thing you think the thing was that the thing was.
Anyway, why do we have the griddle, John?
Okay, so we kind of just did 2 segments right in a row that we were
Nobody else
planning
said what
on.
their kid did that was stupid. It was just mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here for you in camera 2 that are watching this, we have a griddle on the bar, and it's time for the segment Hot Cakes and Hot Takes. Sorry, it's kind of a tongue twister.
Should we all say it together?
No, please don't. So, hot cakes and hot takes, where we give our
Hot and hot takes.
where we give our hot takes on whatever issues that we've thought of this week as we make some delicious, delicious pancakes. I just realized we don't have plates.
I don't think we need
We're
them.
dads. We don't need them.
That's right.
Oh, there's syrup. We might need the plates.
I don't think so.
That's your phone.
Turn your phone off. I said it last week. I'll
I
say
think
it
it's one of
again.
his children.
It is one of my
You have
children.
an Apple Watch.
I don't know why it's not working. I don't understand how this technology works, man.
Does he look like Steve Jobs?
Josh, why are
I'm
you?
gonna text my wife and have her bring us plates. You're welcome.
Should I get the elements that I'm assuming are a surprise for other people, not for me? 'Cause I already spoiled it.
Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
good. Also, I'm so excited for my hot take. It's a great one.
Just
gonna
go
be
get
sketchy.
this.
So explain to me what's happening here.
So, do you know what a hot take is?
No.
So a hot take is like an opinion on an issue that may not be popular.
Oh, great. Like politics.
We're not
That's
going to go
all.
political.
No, good. Thank goodness.
We avoid politics at all
This
times.
just exploded all over me.
It worked.
We all know what you just said.
So,
You gonna turn it on first?
the griddle? Did you turn it off?
Yeah, it was 1,000 degrees on our wooden bar.
Oh man. Oh, what a big dummy.
You guys are-
Anyway, so this is the surprise.
Nice.
Oh yeah. See, thank you, John. I'm
So
pretty
we're going
sure
to give our opinions about a topic that each one of you choose, including me.
you're gonna choose something like Star Wars and say that you hate it.
I'm not a big fan of Star Wars.
Oh man, you don't like Star Wars?
Take it or leave it, honestly.
Thank you, Cameron.
The mythology's kind of great though. But I mean, other than that.
I'm going to say this. I'm not 100% sure that I've even watched any Star Wars.
Oh, that's a hot
Well,
take.
see now,
You've
where
crushed-
okay, now you got to think about where I grew up in
Oh.
the '80s. In
Boonville?
the '80s, in Boonville, there's nothing there, And my parents, I didn't even eat McDonald's till I was probably in high school.
You're kidding.
Man, it was the 80s. We grew up on a farm. We didn't do things like that. My parents didn't take us to the movies to watch Star Wars.
So
We
you
watched
just never,
WLJC like any American family would do.
Exactly.
so you've never seen one.
I've seen bits and pieces, maybe when I was a kid, but I don't recollect any of the major things. I know Harrison Ford was in it,
Okay.
and I know it is a very popular movie among you millennials.
It was out in the 70s.
I
Was it
mean,
the 70s for
yes,
real?
Yeah.
1977.
77. I said 77.
Hey, quit
I mean,
screaming.
When I was a kid, I might have had like R2.
I wasn't talking to you.
R2D2 the robot?
The robot?
The robot? Was it
Wrong
the-
robot, but yeah.
What was the little round silver one?
Siver?
No.
You said Siver.
You did
Silver.
say silver.
Silver? Silver.
You know, that one that was real nice, and he kept the peace amongst the peoples.
Kentucky educator, folks. Siver. I like that. That's a Boonville word if I've ever
My
heard
buddy
one.
makes fun because they say tubes and federales. I was singing Punch on Left and I said federales. And that's been years ago and he still
Okay.
picks on me about that.
I'll tell you what. Is that going to be your hot take, Star Wars?
No,
Did
I
you
have a new, I'm thinking. I'm boiling on one.
You're boiling on one? John, do you have one that you'd really like to discuss?
Yeah, I do actually. I've been thinking about it all week.
Let's hear it.
First, I want to know how these work.
I think you put them down face down.
This way?
Yep, and then you put the battery.
This won't
inside
melt it? It's rubber. It's like this
It's
is a
silicone.
Silicone.
Like a silicone.
But how does it? No,
So I
it
think
has to
the-
go like that.
no.
I
No,
don't
it
think
would
so.
have to go.
You just want the shape.
There's only
the
one way to
general
know,
shape.
and that's to
But
try
once,
it.
once
Here
the
we go.
batter goes through here,
You ready?
it's not going to form right.
Yeah.
Lay it to it, boys.
And then the stuff that's in the silicone, it'll end up being lighter, like the stuff that's on the silicone.
Yeah. I feel like that's right.
It is.
I can't see this at all.
I've watched enough Food Network to know.
How do we flip this thing? Oh, wait, with a spatula.
Well, I don't think it's ready.
I've never made
It's not ready.
made
your
pancakes.
wife. Here.
Pancake in your life.
I've never made a pancake.
Hang on, let's.
That's almost as bad as
this around.
not seeing Star Wars. If you've not made a pancake.
Okay, so
Okay.
while Cameron is fixing this pancake, my hot take for the week: restaurant closing hours. So, so it is my opinion that if a restaurant closes at 9 o'clock, the doors and the kitchen stays open until 9 o'clock. There's this movement going on right now amongst restaurant workers to believe that if they close at 9, you should not go to their restaurant past 8:30,
Oh.
and that's
Because they
unacceptable.
want to get cleaned up and be out the door
Yeah.
themselves by 9 o'clock.
But they're not closing at 8:30. They're closing at 9. So if they want their hours to be 8:30, they need to announce that.
Kind of like a last call. I used to work at Cracker Barrel when I was in first summer when I was in college. I know, impressive, right?
Yes.
And I remember one time, everybody had everything cleaned up. This big group came in right at the closing time, and all of the cooks were really upset. Did we blow a fuse?
I don't know.
This went off. There we go.
The power's still
Okay.
on.
Maybe
and
it just
everything.
kicked out because it was that temperature. But yeah, I mean, they want to try to get. I
I would-
agree
I
with
would never
that.
flip
Not
it.
yet,
I mean,
not yet.
at closing, if the closing time is at 9 o'clock, that's when they should stop taking orders. Is not 9 o'clock.
Right.
But as a restaurant employee, you probably didn't agree with it at the time.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a yes.
Because it's not so much what's right or wrong, it's your viewpoint,
Perspective.
your perspective.
That's not fun.
I think.
So it's like buying this house. There's issues with this house I'm looking at. I have my viewpoint, and they have their viewpoint. So we got this range of what it's going to take to fix the house. Well, of course, the seller wants to be on one end of the spectrum. The buyers want to be on the other end of the spectrum. So which one do you go with? I mean, as a worker, you want to be able to be out by a certain time. But as a consumer, you want to be able to purchase the food. It's the perspective.
I feel like that if you're the one buying it, consuming it, you win already. Because you're the one forking out the money.
So if you went at 9:05 and they didn't serve you, would you be upset?
No.
Absolutely not.
Now, saying that I think they should honor their hours, I also I will get on my phone before I go to a restaurant to visit the drive-thru or something like late at night and make sure that their hours are what I think they are. And then if I'm in within like 15 minutes of closing,
That looks really nice, by the way.
that doesn't that's a
perfect-
beautiful pancake.
Can they see this?
That's golden.
Look at that.
They can see it. There's a camera right there.
So you should quit your job as being some. No, cannot say that.
I don't
so-
want people to know.
Yeah, you should quit your job and become a shorter cook. Like
Most people that are watching this already know.
I'm so no. I told him when to flip that pancake.
He did. Fair enough. He told me.
So if it would have been burnt, would you have took responsibility for it?
Absolutely not. No.
No, exactly.
Which also goes back to perspective. If it's good, I did it. If not, that's.
Do you feel like that is an issue with people nowadays because they are so involved in themselves and not having the social skills that we used to have when we were kids, that they have an issue? That is not done at all.
That's not done.
What are you doing, dude?
Nope.
I like it, or not powdery. I like it.
We
Very
take
moist.
no we
That,
we take back what we said
anyway,
about you getting a
because
job.
we don't have this social communication like we used to, that I feel like most people nowadays are like, Do you feel like that's an issue as well?
I mean, I think people have always been I. You know, I think that's human nature. Am I not in it?
Go hit the camera.
Yeah. We know you're right in the middle of saying something, but we really don't care.
What do I do?
It's the red button on the back,
You know the red button. It's record.
the one that says record.
There's no red button. You're an idiot.
This went well.
Where's the red button?
Did it kick off the camera?
Yeah, so that camera has a 30-minute video.
White button.
Dude, you
Uh,
run
limit.
the pancake by doing that.
Hey, Chris, why don't you mind your own business?
But
I don't think
this camera's
rubber-
still going. It's not
Anyway.
recording, Cam.
I just.
You have to hit it twice.
Oh, man, you're doing good. This is one of the best parts of the show.
There we go.
It's a red dot, not a red button. There's a difference.
But you couldn't put
A
that.
button is a button. A dot is a dot.
Why don't you say that in the mic?
A button is a button. A dot is a dot.
I'm not eating that.
That sounds like a poem. Keep going.
It's Dr. Seuss.
I'm not eating that.
What's the next hot take? Let's
So
continue on.
I will say, I think people have always been kind of me. I think
Yeah.
that's human nature. But
You
I
still
do
think it's
think
getting worse?
people have more exposure now. Like I think people have more access to platforms that give them louder voices on every side of the spectrum. It doesn't matter really which one you're on. So I think that because of that, you know, we kind of experience a lot more visibility of that. You know, like people have always been selfish. You just didn't see it as much. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's
because of the internet and things like that. Because
Yeah.
people, you got to think, especially in this area, 100 years ago, people didn't leave and travel. Even 20 years ago, 30 years ago, people didn't travel like they do now. Now people don't think anything about jumping in their car and driving an hour to go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
You know, whereas before they would have to take like a mule and a wagon to go to town. They would get sacks of rice and flour to cook with, or even grow a garden. I mean, times have changed because of this internet. Because we have instant.
Yeah.
gratification.
For better and for worse, I think.
For better
you
and
know.
for worse.
I would like to point out real quick. I don't know if the viewers can see this. I don't know. I don't really care. Anyway, this dummy rested a plastic spatula on a hot griddle.
Nope, this is old. That mark is old. That's been there.
There's no. It's the exact position that it was sitting in.
You can ask my wife. This
I'm not
spatula
gonna
has been
ask you
ruined
that.
for
I'm gonna
years.
trust you because I'm a trusting man.
He's not.
We don't have to use the mold on every pancake either. Like
think
we
we
can.
do.
Why we wouldn't?
I like.
You don't have to be a stick in the mud. What are these little cakes? You making silver dollar cakes?
Okay. So, next topic, Josh. Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'll go. Karate versus jiu-jitsu. Karate's a bullshit sport. There, I
Next
said
topic, please.
it. Whatever. It's the It's the only one I could think of that wasn't political, and that somebody here might have an opinion
I
about.
can't even say jiu-jitsu or whatever it's called. I don't know. I can't even say that. I can say karate, but that's about it.
Karate. Get the syrup.
Hold on.
No. We've got. Hang on.
You're a selfish man.
We got plates, but we didn't get any forks.
Oh my god.
So we're just dipping these in the syrup. That's what's going to happen, okay?
But you know, this is very indicative of us being dads.
Yep.
Oh, thanks.
Jones.
Dad, where's my pancake?
Hang
I will
on.
say this. I did. Hold on.
Don't. Okay. I haven't got a take from anybody on my hot take issue.
Okay, that's what I'm going to. I'll say this. I did karate when I was like 7 years old, and I karateed my sister. So I did karate for like a week. Karateed my sister, never did karate again. So I think maybe that karate was a bad influence. Did jujitsu as an adult, and smelled another man's taint area, and immediately my behavior changed for the better. So I have no arguments against it. I think, when you're forced to smell the underside of another feller.
Karate, for people that put their kids in karate, oftentimes it's just a scam. You have to pay for each belt that they rank up with. And jiu-jitsu, you have to earn it. Plus, there's actual sparring.
Is it true if you take karate and you get in a fight, you have to notify the person that you do know karate? Is this true?
There's
to register these hands.
No,
'cause they're lethal
there is no
weapons.
legal.
Before you attack me, sir, I need you to know that I do know karate.
I think once they hear you say that you know karate, they're going to know it's okay to attack you.
So what is the big difference between this karate and jiu-jitsu? Is it silver?
Say it one more time for me.
Silver. Jiu-jitsu is mostly takedowns and ground defense, grappling, actual hands-on. You get your chokes and your arm bars and stuff like that. Karate, you never hardly spar, which means you don't go up against an opponent. Can't flip pancakes. Nailed it. This was a good segment, man. I can't even talk and do this at the same time.
I don't want that one that you touched.
And in karate, it's kicks and stuff against an opponent that's not there. I feel like it's just not. What?
I want a pancake sandwich. Okay, so what I want 2 of those small pancakes, and I want in the middle to be syrup. And if you had peanut butter, that would be rocking.
So you want me to stop what I'm doing to go get you peanut butter?
No,
He's
that's
our guest star. Whatever he asks for, go do it.
Okay, that's true.
He didn't
right.
even fill out his writer.
Whatever. I can't even. Go ahead, John.
I will say this also. There is a karate kid and not a jiu-jitsu kid. So
When I was in elementary school, we watched the Karate Kid, and a kid did the kick, and he knocked out a window in one of the classroom doors.
he Daniel saw in the window.
He did, and we no longer watch karate movies.
Yeah, because
Oh,
it took
boy.
2 weeks to ship a window to Boonville.
Yeah, and also we got rewarded one time, and we got to walk across the street by ourselves to rent a movie for a reward, and we rented Hellraiser in 5th grade.
Oh boy,
Here, John.
Is this mine?
that sounds like
I
my
guess, I don't
childhood.
I want the pancake sandwich. I'm your guest, dude.
Yeah, you can
Oh
Give
my
him,
God.
give him to Chris. He won't stop.
Here
You know, you just
I get all of them.
take them all.
All right,
I'll make some more.
Yes.
Are we
Sit the
done
plate here.
with Josh's hot take, which was not really
You
all that
want
hot
to just
take?
set this behind you?
I think also that eye watches suck. You should wear a real watch because you already have a phone.
Why didn't you go with that one? That one is something you're
Much
passionate
better.
about.
Why
You
do
should have
people have
definitely
to
gone
have
with that one.
watches? Is really not a phone not enough?
Fitness for me. That's
Or
literally.
you could just
what it is.
run. You don't have to do that.
I do run, but I like to watch the calories, and I like to know kind of where I'm at. Mostly just so I can eat shittier. That's really what it boils
Do
down to.
you share your fitness with your friends? With your fiance?
Oh, I share my fitness with my fiance.
That's not what we meant.
Yeah, actually, we do. We do share. Wait, are you asking if we worked out together and stuff?
No, like on your watch, you can
Oh,
share
do I show it
so
to her?
it shows like when you do workouts and.
No, I don't share it to her. You mean how they have the competition things? You can. No, we don't do that.
Have you
Do you
ever
want to share our data with each other?
I would love to share my data with you. Immediately, yes.
have you ever shared your data with Candace?
Who? Who's Candace?
That's the latest TikTok trend.
I don't know.
Remember Bofa? It's very similar.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I have no idea where Candace could go.
I know.
Now I'm intrigued.
I know exactly where it
Yeah,
could go.
I immediately I knew it just in my heart of hearts.
Candace.
Canadace.
That's the only thing I can think of.
No.
Candace. Candace.
Sandwiches were great, by
Oh, got it.
All right. Apparently, my hot takes sucked.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they really
So here's
did.
mine, though. Okay?
Why don't you go, John?
So our next segment,
No.
I hate this podcast so much.
Okay, what's in your leather bound book?
So, episode 3, hotcakes and hot takes. My hot take: Creed and Nickelback.
This is
aren't
episode 4.
Actually bad. Episode 4, like I said, episode 4. Creed and Nickelback aren't actually bad.
I almost brought that as my hot take.
No.
Did you really?
Yeah, I really almost did.
I almost used leftovers, like food leftovers in the fridge, but then I didn't because this one came to me.
Well,
and
this
immediately-
also reminds me of Garth Brooks. A lot of people complain that they don't like Garth Brooks, but when you're in a
Liars.
place and you hear Friends in Low Places, everyone
sings it.
Everyone sings it.
Same thing with "Look at this photograph," or alternatively, "Can you take me higher?" Are you gonna not sing it if it comes on?
Won't you come off the mic if you're going to scream into it?
Why don't you talk in the mic, Cameron?
I did talk. I hate everything. God, you're the worst friends. And I'm. Anyway,
Love
so
you.
I wrote down some notes. Creed and Nickelback are just victims of hive mind. It's a thing. Everyone hates them. Therefore, it is cool to hate them without any justification.
You're out of the mic again.
Anyway, we all know that it's difficult to get into the music industry and actually thrive, right? Like, that's not an easy thing to do for most people,
Unless you're Chris Shouse.
unless you're Chris Shouse, the most talented man on the planet. So,
Songbird.
they must be doing something right. Now, I'm not sitting here and advocating for, like, the fact that they're good. I don't think they're good. They're just not, like, the most awful band of all time. Their tunes are catchy, and each of those bands has multiple hit records. Like, several. Like, it wasn't just, like, Creed hit higher and then that was it. It was done. They had records before that were big records. They had, like, Arms Wide Open,
Human Clay.
Human Clay was their big album, but they had an album before that that had singles. I can't remember the name of the song.
Human Clay.
Was What If on that album?
Yeah, same one. Why do I know this? I feel like you brought this wanting to argue about it because it's a hot takes. You know, you got a hot take.
Are you not going to argue it?
I think it'd be funnier if we just let it go.
I would like to say though that Scott's, is it Stapp?
Yep, Scott Stapp.
His song that he wrote for the Marlins is hot garbage.
I saw that was a thing, but I haven't actually listened to it because even though I'm advocating for the fact that they're not trash, I still don't want to listen to anything that Scott Stapp does.
Scott's give me the Scott Kebab.
But I mean, they're definitely butt rock, right? I mean, they're definitely butt rock.
That's a new term, TikTok term.
Yeah, it's butt rock. But
What does
I
it
think
mean?
secretly, or maybe not so secretly, most people are into butt stuff anyway. So
I feel like that most of us, our age anyway, in our 30s, you listen to Creed and Nickelback at a particular time in your life.
and liked it.
Yeah.
It's true. We definitely did.
Okay.
I did.
What's butt rock mean?
But see, here's the thing about music is that music is a snapshot of time.
That's true.
So when you record, I've recorded albums before, and if I did it again, I would do them totally different, even a week later. But it's just a picture of time that you record something. When I hear certain songs, it takes me back to a certain time when I was a kid. Like the first time that I heard Pearl Jam, I was in middle school. So that thing, when I hear that song, it makes me think of that. And I still like listening to 90s rock at this time because it makes me think of my childhood. Nirvana Nevermind was the first actual physical CD that I purchased. I purchased Nevermind and Garth Brooks, No Fences. How about that?
I would like to publicly admit that the first album I ever purchased was Creed, Human Clay.
Oh, I've got you beat. You ready for it?
TLC.
No. Better. The first album I ever purchased with my own money, NSYNC, their first album.
Oh, that was pretty
Well,
popular.
now here's the thing. Let's talk about that for a second because whether you like that music or not, you have to
Still
admit
solid.
that those guys are talented.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
I love Justin Timberlake. I think his acting is great. I think he's a great singer. Now, do I listen to his albums? No, but he's very talented, even though it's not my taste. And that's the problem is that because of cancel culture or whatever we want to say, no, this guy sucks. Like, Nickelback or Creed, when reality is it's just maybe not the cup of tea they like, or
Hive
it's
mind.
cool not to like them.
Hive mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because somebody's, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's very similar. This one might be a little hot or touchy, but like Michael Jackson. Like obviously Michael Jackson, depending upon what you believe, is maybe not the most savory character. But if Thriller comes on, ain't nobody gonna not sing Thriller or Billie Jean, maybe even more appropriately.
The top 40s are in the top 40s for a reason. They're catchy and it's good music.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm seeing a resurgence too in my music class. Sometimes we like to listen to music. Kids really like 80s music. 80s pop music, they love.
Well, 80s rock or 80s pop music?
Like 80s pop music, like, some stuff that, the 80s had the one-hit wonders. That one wasn't ready. 80s had the one-hit wonders. So I can't remember all their names, but, they know these songs that I listened to when I was a kid, which was very cool.
I think TikTok is
Is that what it is?
yeah.
Do you guys have TikTok?
Ting Tong.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
I do not.
You need
It
it.
is- you
I don't
I
need
do
it.
not have TikTok nor Snapchat.
I don't have a
I
Snapchat.
don't even have
Snapchat is
Vine.
not-
Is that the thing? No.
No,
TikTok replaced
unfortunately.
Or
mine.
MySpace. I did have a MySpace, but no more.
You still have it. If you had one, it's still out there. You can log on to it.
I have no idea what my password is.
Even better.
You can recover it.
I can't.
Yeah, you can recover it.
Vine was the best, but it was replaced by Ting Tong.
Ting Tong.
TikTok. I call it Ting Tong.
Ting Tong.
You know what's great? Vine predates my children, like as far as their cognizance of the fact that it was a thing. But my kids still send me Vines. Like Riley just sent me a Vine.
Because they're finding them on
Yesterday?
YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. They still send me, like Riley sent me the ADHD one.
Yeah. I want to point out my mother-in-law today said the YouTubes. And I was like, you can't say that. It just shows your age. You can't put an S on the end of it. The YouTubes. That's like, saying
Kroger's and Walmart's.
Yeah.
I do that.
Yet, ironically, she did it because she was old. Elderly. Don't listen to this, Gina.
Or dude.
That sounds like ageism.
I can't spell that.
Ageism is actually a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Sure.
I keep eating John's pancakes because he won't pick them up quick enough.
Let's talk about this with social media. Isn't it weird that I went to Texas Roadhouse yesterday to eat. If you was born on this date in 2000, you could buy alcohol.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All they have to do is see the 19, and they're like, yeah, you can drink.
But no, but 2000. I mean, I was out of college at 2000. You know what I'm saying?
Chris is much older than us.
And the weird thing is that your kids don't know what life is like without the internet. Mm-hmm. They have no idea.
Yeah.
They don't know what life is like without iPhones.
Mine does.
True. 08, 07
Yeah.
was when I, from the first time that I got my 08.
They were out before that. I think they were out in I've looked this up before.
6 or 7.
06, I think.
I distinctly remember getting. Oh man, we're gonna sound old. I distinctly remember getting dial-up internet when I was 8 years old. Yeah, yeah, and you couldn't call anybody because your mom was on the internet doing nothing. She wasn't doing anything. Yeah,
Oh, how times have changed.
yeah.
Or the first cell phone that I got, it was like $30 a month for 30 minutes. Like you did not call, you called and like, I'm on my way, that's it, see you later. You did not talk.
No text messages.
I remember being like 10, 11 years old, something like that, when the first Spider-Man movie was coming out, when it was filming, so maybe 9. And I remember looking on spoiler sites, because I've been doing this literally my entire life, looking on spoiler sites, clicking on a picture to see what the live-action Spider-Man would look like, walking away from the computer for about 15 to 18 minutes for the entire image to load, because that's how slow internets was back then.
Internets.
Uh-huh.
He's showing his age.
I remember doing that, and my kids have never had to live that life. Like,
Now, if you have to wait 5 seconds for something to load now, you're just so irritated.
dude, I rage.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this stupid phone that's sending a signal to space and then back down to my phone not working faster? That's ridiculous.
Where'd you cop that from? I remember that.
Is it Louis C.K.?
Louis C.K.
It is Louis C.K.
But do you think that with our kids, it's putting them at a disadvantage? Like our lives, I know for a fact that my life was better than my parents' life when they were kids. Mm-hmm. Do you really think that your kid's life is better than it was when you was a kid?
I think it's all relative, man. Honestly, I think that every generation has some kind of negative criticism to levy against the successive generations. And I think that that's kind of shitty, but it is the reality. So I think that it really is relative. Like, there are certainly disadvantages to, the level of access that they have. I think it probably makes them more like numb to certain things, or just like aloof when it comes to certain things.
Aloof, that's nice.
Yeah.
Desensitized.
Yeah, exactly. Desensitized to things that, like, when we were kids, we were like, oh my God, that's gnarly. But on the other side of that, I think that they're less alarmist, and I think that's a good thing. Like, I think alarmism is such a terrible, terrible trait and such a terrible characteristic that people tend to lean into. And, like, I look at my kids and I'm like, nothing really overwhelms them in a way that they're like, oh my God, what are we going to do about this? Like, they're rational enough and reasonable enough to recognize we're going to get through this. And I think a large degree of that has to do with access and exposure and recognizing, like, oh, shit happens. Like, we're going to get through it. It's going to be okay.
You just said your kids don't get freaked out about stuff. I just watched your youngest daughter the other day lose her mind because she forgot her soccer jersey.
I'm not saying that they don't get anxious or that they don't have stressors. But I think that, like, they're not sitting here wondering, like, oh my God, is the world going to end in 2012? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, because think about kids growing up in the 50s or 60s where you had to do, like, drills for atomic bombs or,
Now they have different things, like they have to do school shooting.
Right, and it's kind of weird to teach a 5-year-old kid what to do. If someone comes in this room with a gun, what can you do to protect yourself? And it just seems, like, really weird to me to be teaching a young kid.
Because we didn't have to do that.
No, it's just different.
Yeah.
But, so I just wonder, like, at what age did you let your kids get on the internet? Or what? I mean, you have 2 young children, John. So at what age are you going to say, okay, this is the internet. How do you parent that internet to your kids?
Well, it's just the context of the internet that we're teaching, right? So, our oldest we actually have not given him his iPad in a while, but, like, we're doing a reduced screen time kind of thing. But, and the fact that a reduced screen time kind of thing is a thing, it's kind of wild. But is there a smiley face in that pancake?
They did it with TVs.
No.
Like, when TVs came out, they did the same thing.
But YouTube Kids is a thing. I don't know if you guys realize that. So, like, he has his favorite YouTubers already. And
which is actually a thing.
Yeah.
YouTubers.
Yeah. And his favorite YouTubers, like, one of them is a kid that makes more money than I will ever make in my entire life.
Dude, it's so wild.
Yeah.
Is it the kid that opens presents?
It's Ryan.
Toys?
Ryan's
Kid?
World. He has his own toy line now. Like, you can go to Walmart and buy this young kid's toy line, and he got this deal for these toys because he opened toys and played with them, and kids love watching it.
He's just making a tremendous amount of money now.
Yeah, he has a second house just for his toys.
I can't afford the first house I've got.
He's
But
the
what's crazy
highest.
is that we did the same thing. So I just got this, I was trying to get a new Filson backpack. So I, like, researched those. And for, like, hours, I watched different people, like, opening up,
Review it.
Oh, yeah.
reviewing and, like, opening up, like, hey, this is the leather strap. This
Yeah.
is, so, like, I wonder why kids do that. Why do kids watch videos of other kids open up presents while I'm watching a grown man open up a backpack?
Yeah.
When the
And-
kids, my birthday was a few days ago, and the kids at school was like, "What'd you get for your birthday?" I was like, "Oh, I got a backpack." I'm like, "A backpack? What are you, a grown
They don't
man
know it's
getting-"
a sick Filson backpack, though.
But no, but it's just the idea of that. I guess that we're just kind of kids at heart. That we do the same thing that they do. Like, why do people watch other people play video games?
And you wouldn't have picked a video that didn't have them opening up the backpack.
Yeah, 'cause
like,
I
if
wanna
they
know-
already had it, you were
I'm
gonna watch
really,
it.
what's really weird is that when I buy things, I like the packaging. When I bought this new interface, this Universal Audio's Apollo Twin interface, it came in this really nice box. The presentation was so cool. It, like, had this, like, it was just presented well. Like, I feel like if the company takes time to wrap what they're selling me in nice,
Oh, yeah.
like, ooh, this is really nice because they wrapped it so well.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like, just throwing some paper on it and going. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
If you wrap a turd nice enough, I'll like that turd.
Like the
You know what
wooden,
I'm
you
saying?
put in a wooden box.
Yeah.
You know?
They're going to spend a little bit more money to make the presentation more nice.
Yeah.
Even
That's-
like the Filson bag came in like this really like thick envelope that had like just information about it.
Yeah.
Really cool. Like what I do with it, I just threw it away. But when I looked, it's like, man, this is really nice. It's like cardstock.
Yeah.
They do care.
They do care.
Yeah. Braden bought a Filson hoodie, and I thought he was an idiot. It's like $175. I was like, that's insane. And he got it in, and I felt it. It was as nice as any Carhartt jacket I've ever put on. Like, it was crazy thick.
Really?
But I'm
Sorry.
kind of the point in my life where I'd rather have like one nice backpack that's going to last me forever versus having a room full. I'd rather have one nice guitar than to have 10 not so good guitars.
Buy
Same
once,
with-
cry once.
Boots. Same with boots.
Boots, Red Wings.
Red Wing Heritage. All the way. Yeah.
Which I do like the Thorogoods too, but either
those
way.
are nice.
Yeah.
Thorogoods are nice.
But you spend $200 on or $300 on a nice pair of boots. You take care of them; they will last you your whole entire life.
Yeah.
Versus going and getting something at a cheaper store and they're going to wear out a lot faster. Like cases for guitars. I have a cotton guitar case. Have a cotton manly case. I will never have to buy another case.
Yeah.
Why did you spend $1,000 on a case? Well, because I've already had it for 15 years and it still looks the same.
Yeah.
It
Exactly.
just doesn't wear out because I use it.
Yeah.
But I base my life on like mediocre stuff. I usually don't buy the cheapest thing. I don't buy the most expensive on
Yeah.
some stuff. But now I'm leaning towards more of getting like nicer things, but
Quality.
less of those.
I'm telling you, it's
Like
just
a
the way
nice
to go.
Filson or a nice Carhartt or some sort of nice, jacket to wear versus just getting something really cheap that's
Yeah.
going to shrink.
I agree. It's the way to go.
I also like to do that with like vintage stuff. Like I have a lot of stuff like those coats that I have that were my grandpa's.
We get it. You're a hipster.
Anyway, where he was my grandfather was a foreman or
Oh, what did the jacket say? What is that orange jacket?
inspector.
Yeah, and you wear it everywhere, and nobody knows what you do.
Nobody knows,
Yeah.
but it's the coolest thing, man. I love it, and I think so. So like going back to that video thing, going back to him having his favorite YouTubers. So it's what you assign value to, right? That's the same thing that we do when we research any kind of product that we're buying.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we assign value to, and kids are the same way. They don't understand that like, okay, this 35-cent toy doesn't really have much value, but to them, it's got all the value, because it interests them. It's intriguing to them. It's something that they feel like putting their time into is going to be worthwhile because they're going to enjoy it. I mean, they don't consciously think that.
Are you
I don't
assuming
think.
that only children put their time and money into toys?
I would never.
Would you set that on that
never
griddle?
assume that. But it is a child pulling out a toy right now, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
John, did you even have a hot take?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was about
the restaurant times.
Huh, I forgot about it already because it was so underwhelming.
Are you trying to deflect how bad your hot take?
Yours was terrible.
Yeah. Are you trying to deflect from that?
You had
I
two,
want
and they were
everybody to
both.
forget about it.
It was so
no,
bad.
and it's not a it, them. You had two, and they were both bad.
What was so bad about them? Never mind.
We can go back and
Are you
review
gonna
it
eat this
again.
hot cake?
No,
He's not
eat
gonna
it.
eat the hot
I tried to make a smiley face in it.
It was poor.
Yeah, I didn't let the eyes and the mouth rest long enough.
My hands
before.
are so sticky,
Mine too.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird.
and I just
But
want to go wash them, but I can't.
I would like to point out these. So I got protein pancakes, and then I used a protein shake as the milk base for it. Oh my god, these are maybe the best pancakes I've had.
Yeah.
That's maybe an exaggeration. Absolutely worth
In the mic, please.
not that.
You
know
didn't
what
even
I'm
offer
saying?
us
Like,
one.
well, here, there's more batter.
No, we don't want it. Turn it off.
Such good friends.
You knew
Such
this
good
again.
friends.
You knew this. This is the whole reason we did the podcast is because we constantly are at each other's throats, and we thought
true.
someone might get entertainment value.
Why are you talking with your mouth full?
Because I can. This is my house.
And then you just smacked your lips into the
Do it
microphone.
harder.
yeah, I don't even care.
I just want to see John's face explode right now.
John has had a mini heart attack every day working on this podcast. Matter of fact, today he posted the video from the podcast last week. And within 2 minutes, the volume went off on it and it became unaligned. And I thought he was going to die.
Yeah. He was maybe top 3 most angry I've ever seen. I didn't even see him. I could just feel him seething through text.
He said, I need a break. No, Cameron told him, said, take a break. He said, well, I'm having a breakdown right now. That's kind of like a break.
Do you want my hot take?
Yes.
So let's talk about COVID restrictions
Oh, you're kidding.
That's
That's
touchy.
borderline political.
Is it borderline political?
It's pretty
political.
pretty
It is
borderline.
Okay.
You can say it.
No, go ahead. We'll hear your take on it.
This is my
No
take
rebuttal.
on COVID restrictions.
Dad and Around does not endorse the viewpoints of Chris Shouse.
Unless they're the right viewpoints, and then we do endorse them.
I guess my take is this. Being very inconsistent about what restrictions we have.
Right.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
You know, like either let's be more safe and everybody do it, or let's be not safe and nobody do it.
Yeah, I think.
Like it just seems weird to me that I wear a mask into a restaurant, which I'm vaccinated. I'm fine with wearing a mask. I wear a mask into a restaurant and then I sit down and I don't wear a mask anymore.
But if you go to the bathroom, you have to put it back
mask
on.
back on. Like I just don't see how.
It does seem that there's inconsistencies in it that are just for public view.
Well, I think it's because there's not been a significant amount of real leadership and unification. Like there hasn't really been an effort to unify, I think, since all of it started. And not only that, but it's a dynamic issue, right? So we're still learning. Like literally right now, we're ideally coming to the closing stages of this pandemic.
Right.
And we're still learning about it. We're still learning its origins. We're
Because
still
hindsight's 2020. Because
Exactly.
we can look back and say, well, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that?
And so it's I feel for the scientists in this whole situation
Absolutely.
because ultimately what's going to happen is people are going to either be alarmist and they're going to be like, "Oh, well we didn't do enough. Well, we didn't know enough." Or they're going to say, "Oh, we did too much." And that too much was reactionary, but that's what we had to do, you know. So it's just a lose-lose. Like it's so hard, I think, to be, whether it's a business owner or a scientist or a teacher, anyone who's actually been like impacted by this on a real level. And I think I would say that that's probably most people. To varying degrees, but most people have had their lives impacted by it. But to be people that have to create legislature for it or that have to create some kind of restriction for it, that's got to be a stressful job, man.
Tough to see.
Because no matter what, you're gonna piss someone off.
Well, it's like, months ago when I was thinking about reopening schools, like, if we save one kid's life, is it worth shutting school down? Like, you try to make decisions and you can't make everyone happy. But
Wait, you can't make everyone happy?
you cannot.
I do know someone that believes it was just used by the Democrats to get Trump out of office. And,
Man, and this song-
I think 560,000 people would disagree.
I think that we're swinging
then,
pretty close to political, and I would like to swing away from that.
I don't agree with that statement. I just think it's very comical.
Yeah,
what's the next segment?
I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about?
So we're actually getting pretty close to wrapping.
What are you going to rap for us?
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the
So
playground.
loud.
Yeah, that's okay. You can't be on this podcast and not expect some dad jokes.
What has hands and a
man.
face, but no body?
A clock.
Dang it, John. Beat me
Listen,
to it by 2
What has
seconds.
heads and tail? What has a head and a tail, but no body?
Quarter.
Okay, I've got one for you. What's purple and goes slam, 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 slam?
Ivanus.
A four-door grape.
Darren Risen is going to be so happy.
What's red? Oh, no. What's green with little red wheels?
A green thing with red wheels.
Grass. I was just kidding about those wheels.
What has a tongue but can't talk?
I don't know.
A shoe.
See, these are quality dad jokes here, and you guys are getting this for free.
these aren't really
Oh,
jokes.
and this is
more than
another one. I
riddles.
do this with the kids at school. So see if you guys can figure this one out. Let's play a game called the green glass door. Some things pass through the green glass door. Some things don't. Okay?
Okay, go.
With me? So a pancake cannot pass through the green glass door, but your teeth can. Okay?
Okay.
Your mommy can pass through the green glass door, but not your mom.
I've never
A
been
boot
more lost.
can pass through the green glass door, but a cap cannot. A MacBook can, but not a computer.
Oh, cool.
This is one of those.
glass door.
I don't like this at all.
A phone cannot pass the green glass door.
Okay.
A dog can't either.
Okay, what?
But wolf can.
A what?
Like wolf, like woof, woof, woof.
I think you meant like a woof. Like my mom calls it a woof, but she means wolf.
It's words that have double letters. Forget about
I
it.
knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
that you made it too difficult.
Sorry, I'm used to working with fifth graders.
Yeah, and you knew coming here what you were getting into.
There's a literal show called Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Most of us are not. We would not succeed on that show.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, why don't you go ahead and give us like your upcoming shows, and then you can like plug your album again.
I don't have my phone. The band is called Wolfpen Branch. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We have some shows coming up at Headliners Music Hall May 28th in Louisville, Kentucky. We are playing Laurel Cove in Pineville, Kentucky on June the 11th. We are playing in Moorhead, Kentucky on June 19th. We recently have booked more shows. You can find those on our website at wolfpenbranch.com. We have a new single coming out called Nary on June the 4th. We have one song on Spotify and Apple Music called Don't Have a Clue. And we have more music to release every few months.
Is that Don't Have a Clue already on?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I sent John the MP3 of it.
Okay.
And we'll play that for you somewhere amongst...
I'll use it as the outro music.
Yeah, okay. And I would highly recommend you go see them, unless you don't want to. You don't have to. It's whatever.
How many times have you seen us play live?
I've always watched and never been able to play.
Oh.
Yeah.
That wasn't the question.
I've never been to see them. I've seen Chris play at Kicking It on the Creek, but that was it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any room in the band for a accordionist?
Player? We do not.
I love that he immediately knew what you were going
because
for.
John is probably the best and only accordion player that I know.
He's
Also the worst.
But
He's
All of
also the
things.
worst.
Yeah.
I love how the statement though was, "You do not have room because it's me."
No, because it's a string band.
Yeah.
And accordion does not have strings. It has
Reeds.
reeds and bellows.
You know all these killer accordion players out there. You know what I mean?
You should totally do like an accordion album playing fiddle tunes.
Okay, that would require me actually learn how to play the accordion.
He doesn't want to actually learn it. He just
but
wants
it'd
to
be
hold
so
it.
cool. Like me and this other mandolin player, Galen Green, we would detune. It was retuning our mandolins to be totally out of tune, but we would play songs and send them back and forth to each other, like we really knew what we were doing. Like this one's called Angelina Baker, blah, 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 and to be totally wrong.
Yeah, I
But it
didn't
was
know.
that's what you could do. You can make an accordion where you're just making everything up. But
I don't think
That's how I play the accordion.
That's high concept.
I don't think anybody wants to hear that. So that was a horrible plug, Chris.
All right, Chris Shouse, everybody. Thanks for coming
thanks, I
on.
had fun.
Yay.
Thanks for the L8 and the pancakes.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
Now leave my-
Subpar L8. It wasn't the long neck.
It
All
was
right.
not the long neck ball, but I would take it because it was cold.
The long necks are pretty good.
Can you leave my house?
Yes, I will right now.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and watching.
I got a head like a stone, I'm telling you, man, I gotta let that go. Gonna let it flow down to the Gulf of Mexico. Can see the forest for the trees, can feel the wind for the breeze, can hear you sorry for your pleasing, and so it goes. Oh, she's got me by a string. She says she likes to hear me sing.